Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
Some things just don't look the same when we witness them from above. Google Earth allows us to check out places we've never been to, no matter how remote. Sometimes, people end up finding some weird things on the app. You've no doubt already come across some interesting finds on Google Earth. But in this video, we'll show you findings that just don't make sense the first time you look at them. Pentagram-shaped park. So what's this big, creepy sigil doing in the middle of nowhere? These strange satanic symbols in Kazakhstan prove that the devotion to the occult is real. Syke, we got you there. Did Michael Langdon from American Horror Story set up a base here or something? Not quite. This is actually a normal park that used to be part of the U.S.S.R, and once it fell, the Soviets left, and the park was abandoned. It's very clearly defined and even has a circle around it, like the traditional depiction of what most people would think of as a satanic pentagram. The creepy pentagram shape is a result of the roads and pathways around the park, which are hidden by trees, making them partially visible from above. Furthermore, Kazakhstan is a majority Islamic country, and we can all agree that a pentagram is only superstitious in Western Christian culture. Missing mystery. Of all the sightings we've discovered on this list, this is by far the most incredible story to accompany a strange Google Earth photo. Could you believe that after 22 years of being reported missing, the remains of a Florida man known as William Molt was discovered thanks to the help of this Google Earth photo? The magnified visual of this underwater car was found by a resident of the area who had spotted something strange while on Google Earth. After a call to the police, the car was towed, and a tragic mystery had finally found closure, as the remains of the missing body were found inside. Nagaro, Japan. Don't visit this place if you're afraid of dolls that resemble humans. Japan is one of the few places in the world that is rich in culture and has upheld traditions for centuries. One of the weirdest of these has to be Nagoro, a small town in the country. For the past couple years, tourists have been visiting the area not because it has the most luxurious beaches or scenic mountain landscapes, but because of its dolls. Yep, you heard that right. The town is full of dolls, and not the ordinary ones you'd find kids playing with, but life-size ones that resemble human beings that have passed on. Well, if you want to be remembered forever, you better head on over there before you leave the earth so they can create a doll that will look just like you. These creepy figures can be spotted all over the town, and Google Maps was quick to capture a few of them. People often confuse them for other human beings. It's believed that the spirit of the person still resides within the doll. Planning your next vacay? Now you know where to go. Swastika. The north of Kazakhstan in Central Asia has witnessed the appearance of more than 50 different geoglyphs. They come in all shapes and sizes, but the most impressive one of all is this swastika, which is quite a shock because it dates back 2,000 years. We all know this symbol became quite unpopular in the last century during World War II. However, 2,000 years ago, they were common in Asia and Europe, and they had a totally different meaning. They were associated with different political beliefs. The other impressive fact about this symbol is the fact that it was made out of timber, while most of the other geoglyphs were just made out of earthen mounds. In Indian religions, this is a symbol of divinity and spirituality. It represents life and the existence of an absolute force that makes the world go round. It's quite sad now that it has such a negative meaning for so many people. So it makes sense that a lot of us might freak out if we ever find one of these while messing around with Google Earth. Large pink bunny. In the Italian region of Piedmont sits a 5,000-foot tall mountain, atop which is something bizarre, an enormous pink rabbit. Or rather, the remains of one. The rabbit, over 200 feet long, was spotted on Google Earth not long after it launched, and it led to a lot of questions. Why a pink bunny? Why this particular mountaintop? Did someone make it specifically for Google Earth? Rumor has it, this rabbit began construction before Google Earth was released. It was completed in 2005, but was actually started 5 years earlier. Desert Breath. A spiral portal to an alternate universe? Maybe an alien message, or an ancient monument to a supernatural being. This giant spiral design in the desolate Egyptian desert, not far from the shores of the Red Sea, is an art installation called Desert Breath. In March 2007, 3 artists created the 1 million square foot or 100,000 square meter artwork meant to celebrate the desert as a state of mind, a landscape of the mind, the artists say on their website. Quite an expensive art piece. Ancient Wheels. To kick things off, let's look at some art. Not just any piece of art, but one that's so ancient it predates most civilizations. And the only way to view them is by looking straight down from the sky. Fortunately, Google has us covered. These wheel-shaped structures can be found dotting Jordan's Azraq oasis. These ancient geoglyphs may date back some 8,500 years, making them older than Peru's geoglyphs called Nazca lines. They also seem to be positioned in a way that aligns with sunrise on the winter solstice, giving them some ancient religious significance. The wheels vary in their design, with some showing spokes that radiate from the center, others with just 1 or 2 bars rather than spokes, and still others not circular at all and instead shaped like squares, rectangles, or triangles. Phantom Island. In 2012, a group of Australian researchers undiscovered an island the size of Manhattan in the South Pacific. A mysterious place called Sandy Island had popped up on the maps northwest of New Caledonia. It even showed up as a black polygon on Google Earth. But when scientists sailed there in November of 2012, they found open water instead of solid ground. In an obituary for the island published in April of 2013, the researchers explained why the phantom landmass had been included on some maps for more than a century, pointing to some human error and a possible pumice raft. Mysterious pyramids. A trip to Egypt would not be complete without a proper visit to the famous pyramids. However, if you don't have the time or the money to go there, you can use Google Maps. Now, the cool thing about this feature is that it allows you to see some pyramids that you would probably never get to see in real life. I mean, we actually don't know if they're pyramids, but there are definitely some mysterious anomalies that are either pyramids or something even more mysterious. People still can't figure out if these spots on the map are man-made or products of nature. It would be easier to know if the government of Egypt just went there to start excavations. However, their limited resources and the overall current situation in the country don't allow for further exploration. We can only hope they actually get to the bottom of this mystery one day. In the meantime, we can use Google Maps and speculate what these things might be. Abandoned missile launch site. From 1954 to the 1970s, the United States was dotted with missile sites armed with Nike missiles, a kind of supersonic surface-to-air missile. Some of those missiles even carried nuclear warheads and were always primed to launch. But with the development of ICBMs or intercontinental ballistic missiles, Nike quickly became obsolete. Here, one of those sites, the Oahu Defense Area in Hawaii, was shown in 1968. The site was once equipped with open-air missiles with embankments between paired launch sites. Thanks to David Tewksbury, a geographic system information specialist at Hamilton College in New York, we still have this photo. He's preserving a visual record of the abandoned Nike missile launch sites before they vanish, either as a result of being reclaimed by nature, repurposed by the military, or redeveloped. His plan is to build a geo-reference database so anyone can research the Nike missile sites through Google Earth. KFC. At last, we have the weirdest Google Earth find ever. Considering the number of people who troll the software in their free time, it isn't surprising that enormous advertisements have started popping up in remote areas for their viewing pleasure. A concept known as mapvertising, the world's largest Coca-Cola logo, for example, can be seen on a hillside in Chile. It's said to be made of 70,000 empty Coke bottles. An 87,500 square foot picture of Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, who is also in the logo, appears at just off Extraterrestrial Highway in Nevada. Have you ever found anything fascinating and interesting on Google Earth? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, like and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. We'll see you in the next one.